Hi, I'm Paul Edwards, author of the Mourners Woods books and first and foremost, a monster kid. Tonight I'm watching The Girl Who Got Away from 2021. I happen to notice that this movie is playing now on Netflix, and it reminded me of, if you happen to catch the video I made yesterday about Godzilla versus Biollante, even though they're very different movies, there was a connection between the two. Because I was noticing in Godzilla versus Biollante how very few of the giant monsters are female. And why is it that the kaiju are androcentric? Why is it that they're almost always male, except for here or there, like Mothra? And then I started to think more about other monsters that are all male. Why are the classic Universal monsters all male? Is there any reason for that? Except for the Bride of Frankenstein. Okay, I'll grant you that. But basically, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, Mummy, Invisible Man. And when they do have a female monster, it's a variant of a male monster. Like they had an Invisible Woman, which was a sequel to the Invisible Man. They had the Bride of Frankenstein as a sequel to Frankenstein. So it seems that only as an afterthought did the female monsters get any screen time. I happen to put a female monster on the magazine back there from the Hammer film, The Reptile. So there is a connection. I'm getting to it. In this film, The Girl Who Got Away, this is a psychological thriller about a young woman who, as a girl, was kidnapped, and the kidnapper was a female serial killer, and she had kidnapped a half dozen other girls. Only this one survived and escaped, and the female serial killer was locked up, and she's been locked up for years. Now our main character is a young adult. Unfortunately, the maniac escapes from the mental hospital and is on the loose, and the killings start all over again. Seems pretty straightforward for a thriller, doesn't it? And you're wondering if the killer's going to come and get this main character, the one girl who got away from her all those years ago. Except some strange things are happening with our main character. For one thing, she keeps waking up on the floor and not knowing how she got there, and is covered with dirt and doesn't know where it came from. And strange things like that happen, and then she just sort of, goes about her regular life, and you almost forget that she's having these psychotic episodes, and then they do another one, and she wakes up on the floor and doesn't know how she got there. And of course, you start to wonder, just because the maniac from the old days escaped from prison, from the insane asylum, does that necessarily mean that she's the killer now for the present string of murders? This brings up the subject of female antagonists in horror. And there's a story I'm going to tell you about a literary agent that I had a disagreement with about this. Okay. So years ago, I was pitching a novel to a literary agent. It's not a Mourners Woods novel. This is pre-Mourners Woods. This was a completely different thing. But it was a thriller, and the antagonist was a female character. And I went through the whole pitch and I explained the whole scenario to this literary agent. And when I finished, she goes, "I cringe when I hear about a strongly evil female character." I'm thinking, what? She goes, "That's awful. That's awful to have a strongly evil female character." Now, I wasn't going to get into a big debate with her because I was there to pitch a book, and obviously she wasn't interested, so that's that. But in my view, her attitude was the sexist one. Why can't a woman be just as evil as a man? How is that? How is it sexist to say that a woman can be as evil as a man? Sure, there are plenty of male killers. Most serial killers are male, absolutely. But most killers who kill through whatever they call Munchausen by proxy nowadays, They renamed it, but you know what I mean. Those are mostly female killers. So there's nothing inherent about being male that means that you're going to be the bad guy and the female character has to be the character that's virtuous. It doesn't make any sense to me. To me, that's sexist. Why can't women play too? Why can't they have an equal role in horror where they can turn out to be the crazy killer just the same as a man can? I didn't like that at all. It reminded me a little of the old comics code from the 1950s, where there was a rule that said that every character by default should be male unless there was a plot-related reason for the character to be female. That's outrageous beyond words. Their mindset was they didn't want the artists to draw suggestive pictures of female characters. That was what they were thinking. But that's ridiculous. That's androcentrism. It's assuming that male is the norm and female is the exception. I don't like that at all. As a matter of fact, in my books, the Mourners Woods books, most of my characters are female, I think almost by default. I almost do the reverse of the comics code, where if I'm thinking of a new character, I just assume that she's going to be female unless there's a plot-related reason why this specific character should be male. One of my books, Mourners Tour, every character is female. There's a ton of them, and they're all female. It's a women's church group. They're all female characters. I'm not against men. It's just that I find it easier to write female characters, and that's how my stories come out. And I'm not going to change that and start, bringing in male characters to be bad just because somebody thinks it's sexist for a female character to be bad. So I think this literary agent was completely off. You can let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe you agree with her. Maybe you think I'm the one that's off. It could be. I mean, I've been wrong before, so you tell me. So I haven't talked a whole lot about the movie that I meant to talk about. It's okay. It's a little weird. As I've said before, you don't like to cross the line between wondering what is going to happen to wondering what is happening right now. And sometimes you are left wondering what is happening right now. It's not terrible. It's well done for the story that it is. I mean, it's well filmed and well acted and everything, I think. But it just seems directionless to me. That's what it is. So it's okay. It's a passable way to spend a couple of hours. Do I recommend it? I wouldn't go so far as to say I recommend it, no. But I will watch it. Listen, if you're a fan of classic monsters and vintage horror, check out my book series on Amazon, the Mourners Woods books. My name again is Paul Edwards. Thanks for letting me talk to you about The Girl Who Got Away. I'll see you in Mourners Woods.